Hello, welcome to this update for the severe weather. So let's see what's happening in parts of the US and Canada. So today is July 9th. We do have two areas of slight risk across parts of the plains and also into the east coast and some dangerous rainfall across the mid-Atlantic as well. So let's see. We have this light risk into Nebraska, South Dakota, spots of North Dakota, and this marginal risk from Oklahoma and all the way to Oregon. So be careful in those areas. Another one in Michigan and Ohio, another one in the southeast and east coast, and this slight risk from South Carolina to New Jersey. So be careful in those areas today. We have the 15% wind threat in both slight risks and hatched in South Dakota for some very damaging winds, potentially some hurricane force winds with those storms. So be careful of those storms. There is a marginal as well, the 5% and 5% in Michigan, and also the 15% risk in the mid-Atlantic. So stay safe, those damaging winds. Hail is also 15% hatched into North and South Dakota, so stay safe in those areas. Be careful, some large hail, and all the way down to Oklahoma, some hail possible, and up into southern Canada. So be careful, some hail on the East Coast, Midwest as well. The tornado threat is actually 2% in North Dakota and South Dakota, so stay safe. Be careful this afternoon and evening there. There's like scared damage winds are possible this afternoon into the early evening from parts of the Carolinas to the mid-Atlantic. Large hail and severe gusts are also possible in parts of northern central plains beginning late this afternoon and continuing to the evening. So stay safe in those areas. Be careful. And for day two, they show three slight risks for Thursday, July 10th. So like three areas and also the bigger marginal risks. So let's see here. The show for Thursday, this slight risk in the central plains into the high plains across Kansas, spots in Colorado into Nebraska and South Dakota. This other slight risk into North Dakota and Minnesota, and this will affect Canada too. So stay tuned for tomorrow, Thursday. And does show this margin risk goes all the way south to Texas. There's this margin risk from Georgia to Vermont, and this slight risk in the southeast spot the Carolinas and into Georgia and Virginia. So stay safe in those areas, be careful. But what I'm more concerned about is flooding, especially last night. There were some dangerous floods in New Mexico, there were floods in Chicago as well, and some continue in Texas. So please stay safe, stay away from flooding. If you see it, go as far away as possible. It's very, very dangerous. More than 100 people have died already. Please stay safe. And here for tomorrow, the tornado threat is 2% spots of the plains into Nebraska and Colorado, South Dakota. So be careful in those areas, but this will still change. We might have updates tomorrow. There's wind threat, 15% in all the slight risks and 5% the marginal. And there's hail also in the plains, mainly in the plains, some hail. So does show scarred severe thunderstorms are possible in parts central northern Great Plains, mainly during the late afternoon and the evening on Thursday. Additional severe storms are possible parts in the afternoon across portions of the southeast, so be careful, especially tomorrow in the southeast and in the plains. Day 3, just a marginal risk from New Mexico to Michigan and also a marginal on the east. So 15% probabilistic, not 15, just 5% probabilistic on the marginal in those two areas and some thunderstorms possible across the Midwest, parts of the Southeast, in all the green areas, some storms possible, non-severe, so be careful. A few strong to severe storms can be producing some large hail, some damage winds possible across parts of central Great Plains. Additional strong storms can be producing sporadic wind damage with possible from the Carolinas to central Pennsylvania. So stay safe in those areas, especially today and tomorrow in the slight risk. Be careful with fire danger as well, especially like the critical into Utah and Nevada and the elevated in more areas. And be careful few dry thunderstorms possible on the west as well. So stay safe. There's like some elevated in the four corners tomorrow, so be careful that fire threat. Now there's this. This is very, very dangerous. The flooding threat. So it's a moderate risk today. Spots of Virginia into North Carolina, and also a slight risk around it from Georgia to New Jersey. So please be careful in those areas, especially in the moderate. You saw what Chantal did to North Carolina and what happened in Texas and everything. So please be careful with flooding. If you see it, stay away. And there is a marginal from Texas to Vermont and New Hampshire, spots in the northeast near the coast, Midwest, and southeast. And also this marginal in the plains as well. They choose light risk kind of in the plains, Midwest, and this marginal as well. And there's slight risk on the east, southeast still for Thursday, so be careful. Day 3 for Friday, these three marginals in the high plains, Midwest, and southeast. Friday is a slight risk again in Oklahoma and Kansas, and these marginals, so be careful. And still some marginals across Florida, the Midwest, Saturday, so stay safe. So this is Sunday actually. Be careful. And day 3, the three marginal risks on Friday, and this slight risk on Saturday, so be careful. The rainfall itself does show those areas in the southeast and the east, close to 3 inches in a few areas, 2 to 3 inches, especially in central southern Florida, and more spots in the Midwest, more than 2 to 3 inches. So stay safe in those areas, more rain to central Canada, northern Mexico as well. So stay safe here. There's nothing in terms of snow, but let's see like some heat risk. So still shows like in the northern plains in the southwest today the highest heat risk, especially Montana into North Dakota, some major, even some extreme in Arizona. A few spots there, so stay safe in California, into Arizona, major. And this is like, in my opinion, a very big major because I showed you like before yesterday or something, the temperatures it might reach like to 116 today or something. So please stay safe. And there's some moderate major in the southeast. Thursday still shows a few spots of extreme in Arizona and some major, still some moderate across the north, spots the plains, and some major spots in the southeast. Friday, more moderate in the south and the Midwest, some moderate on the west on Saturday, and some major still in the southeast. Sundays, still be careful in the southeast and the west. Monday, and next Tuesday, some extreme in the south. So stay safe with this heat. Does show these storms here, so like, especially later today, further, let's see further east first. So shows like more storms off the Appalachians today, with that severe weather, especially for wind and the flooding risk. Virginia to North Carolina shows those stronger storms this evening into the east coast. So stay safe in those areas. Be careful. And here, does show true like it doesn't have accumulated precipitation here, but I'll show it in another one. But for the severe storms in the plains, does show later this afternoon spots of South Dakota and into Nebraska. Those storms fire there. They kind of continue further east into Nebraska, South Dakota, and extreme northern Kansas during the night, a finger or two. Then Thursday shows right in the morning in Minnesota, a storm or two, and it doesn't go until the evening, but the storms on Thursday I think will be more severe than today. So be aware. The show this afternoon around the plains, those cape levels, the highest cape is a little bit further east into like central eastern South Dakota and spots in eastern Nebraska. But west, where those storms will fire, they'll initially fire there, but they might go into a more favorable environment later. So this goes late in the evening. It gets to like 5,000 joules per kilogram in North Dakota, but there won't be any storms there today. Most will be in South Dakota and Nebraska. But anyway, those cave values are very, very high there. So this goes, but North Dakota maybe a thing or two later, later into the night, but nothing too crazy. But be careful, those areas tomorrow, Thursday, by the mid-afternoon, already shows a lot. It's like still by noon, already shows more than 3,000 joules per kilogram across North Dakota and into Canada as well. So we have to watch tomorrow closely. Be careful. Does show those wind gusts here, especially those storms. The hurricane does show some very strong winds this evening, like more than 75 mile per hour, even more than 80 mile per hour gusts in a few of those storms in South Dakota, to Nebraska. So stay safe in those areas. And yeah, in here, I have no idea what just happened, but it's very weird. So here, there's the hurricane for some. Let's see the updraft list if it shows anything the 9C because the other one's not loaded. So here it does show like spots in Nebraska, some stronger storms, some bigger hail spots in South Dakota. The updraft list until tomorrow, but it does show this weird track in Saskatchewan and Alberta. So better watch in Canada as well. Be aware. And shows like especially in the plains showing higher signals and spots on the east, but the plains is showing more, especially in Nebraska. So be aware those areas. The significant tornado parameters not anything crazy today because it's just a 2%, but I show a whisper through in the plains close to like 0.9 or something in the evening. A little bit earlier in the afternoon, like in the morning, it did show a finger or two, but barely nothing. So later in the evening by Tuesday does increase slightly in North Dakota to like some 3.2, but there'll be very few storms there that they might fire further east to North Dakota. But be careful there just in case. So yeah, be careful. By this time in Nebraska, there shows some steep lapse rates as well, a few spots, especially western Nebraska. So be careful. But the highest amount of Cape will be further into eastern Nebraska. So stay safe in those areas. We are still watching for tomorrow. The European model does show like Thursday spots in the plains into central Canada as well. Those stronger storms. It does show there too, like for Thursday, this Cape. So especially like shows the Europeans is all the way to like 4,000 joules per kilogram, close to 5,000 North Dakota into Manitoba and Minnesota on Thursday. So the European is showing a lot of Cape. Better keep watching. The icon, not as much, but does show as well. So stay safe in those areas of those storms. For Canada, they have the outlook here for today. This is Tuesday, so yeah, night one, day two, so Wednesday. So this is for Wednesday today. In the similar areas that the horror show the storms like into Alberta, Saskatchewan, the show even tornado or two possible, some 2 to 4 centimeter hail and up to 100 km per hour gusts. The show in Manitoba and to Saskatchewan as well, some more hail and heavy rain. So be careful. More areas there. So stay safe. And I bet for Thursday tomorrow they might have even a high risk there, like in the orange. So be aware. There's day two there. In Ontario, does show Wednesday today as a few storms, some heavy rain and hail. Nothing crazy in Quebec as well. Nothing too concerning. Just a few storms, southern Quebec. So yeah, stay safe. In the tropics, it's quiet now. The remnants of Chantal already dissipating to the Atlantic, but still some flooding lingers still, like I showed you. So be careful. And guess what happened to the Eastern Pacific? Just guess. It's quiet for the first time since May. Like from the last days of May until yesterday, this map had Sunday on it. So that was very crazy. But yeah, for now it's quiet. But not for long because look what we have here. So the Climate Prediction Center did highlight a 20% chance of a tropical cyclone in the Atlantic on week 2 between July 16th and the 22nd. So we better watch this area in the next few weeks because some models have been hinting at something there. So we will keep watching, and the Western Pacific's like tremendously busy there, as you can see. But yeah, we watch this year in the Gulf. The models still don't have anything too crazy. The European ensembles like barely nothing. So like two single members in the Gulf, like that's like zero point 0.0 support. The GFS like 4 or 5 members showing something very weak, but it's like just lost members. This like 0.0.0 support. But we'll keep watching. There's the operational GFS. It does show like it does show a storm in the Pacific again on July 15th possible. It does show some moisture in the Gulf, but it's not developing anything in the Gulf either. So some models hinted at something like a few days ago, but it's still too low of a chance. But we might have some slightly favorable conditions in that area for any homegrown systems. So it does show like the European model. It barely has anything as well. Just shows some moisture and some fronts, but nothing too crazy. In the Eastern Pacific, it tries to get a low pressure on the 14th, but barely makes it. So we keep watching. There's the Canadian model, shows like something on the Pacific around the 15th, and barely shows anything in the Atlantic. So don't worry now. It's very quiet. Just be careful with any heavy rains in a few areas. So like especially Mexico, that in the next few days might be heavier. Western Mexico in those slopes, central western Mexico, spots southern Mexico, more showers and storms like usual. So be careful in those areas. Shows more in Nicaragua, into Costa Rica, close to 100 millimeters. So still be careful some potential flooding and heavy rains in those areas across Cuba, some more showers and storms. Yesterday there was like a blob of showers in the Bahamas. It has diminished now, but still a few pop-up storms. There's another blob in Mexico and in the Gulf with some showers and storms, but nothing's going to form. Just be careful with more showers and storms. A few ones in the Caribbean, some weak tropical waves as well. So be aware, but nothing crazy. Just be careful with passing showers and storms because some storms might be stronger. So yeah, just be aware, but nothing too crazy. And still there's like some of this dust around. So especially Central Atlantic is like a dust ocean. There's a lot of dust, but the Caribbean, some dust into Central America as well, especially like southern Florida a few days, but then it clears out by Thursday a little bit, but shows more plumes in the Bahamas. So expect some thick dust in Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic and Northeastern Caribbean, the South as well, but especially Northeastern Caribbean by Friday and Saturday. So be careful with the air quality for sensitive people and also the visibility. Try not to like go sailing in these conditions. Be careful because it even shows like some 70 to 80. This is a high concentration of dust, so be careful in those areas. And then yeah, this also means no tropical activity. So yeah, stay safe in those areas. It does show here across western Canada, southernmost Alaska, those fronts still. There's some heavy rain in a few spots. Those storms in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and some more rain for central eastern Canada. Some areas are kind of dry further east, but southeastern Canada more storms. Also in Nunavut, some more rain next 5 days. Southern Alaska, spots of central western Canada. So beware, but the western US is fairly dry and yeah, dry and hot too. So here shows like those spots today shows to 116 degrees possible maximum temperatures this afternoon. And if I zoom in, I bet it's higher than that. So shows like some 118 right between California and Arizona. So please stay safe in those areas. Be careful, drink a lot of water, stay cool. Please be careful. Shows like some 111, California 109, Death Valley, let's not even talk about it, 120 or more. Shows 211 Southern Arizona, and like some 100 in Utah, more spots there in the plains, even 200 in Oklahoma and Kansas. Oklahoma not really, but more Kansas and Colorado. So stay safe in those areas. Shows here in the northern plains to 99, close to 100 Montana. So stay safe. Some 90s in the southeast. So the show during the night slightly less, but still like to 91 in the southwest during the night. That's extremely hot nighttime temperature. So stay safe. Does show some 50s, 40s in the high elevations, and yeah, and some 70s in the south during the night. Does show like still some 100s in the valleys in California for Thursday afternoon to 100, 115 Southern California still. Thursday and spots in Arizona too, so stay safe. And some 100 Central Plains. Some 80s in the Midwest, Mid-Atlantic, and 90s in the Southeast. So be careful in those areas during the night, slightly less on the west in the mountains and northern Michigan, but the rest of the south is hot in some 90s in Arizona. So stay safe. During the day on Friday, does show some 112 in California, 109 in Arizona, still 104. So stay safe. So 90s on the west, 90s central areas as well, in the southeast. So stay safe. Does show here like for day 4 during the day on Saturday, still to 110 the southwest, some 90s across the west, 100. So very hot for a few days in those areas. Be careful, stay cool, and in the southeast as well. And then the show for Friday morning, the show slightly colder in the Rockies, some high elevations close to 32 degrees, a few spots in the highest peaks, but the rest remains hot in the south and southwest. And then Saturday afternoon we already saw. So Saturday morning, the show some 80s, a few spots in the southwest, and some 70s in the southeast, even the mid-Atlantic during the night. So be careful. Shows July 13th, Sundays, some 90s, 100s on the west, 111 in the southwest still, so stay safe, some 90s in the plains, even to Washington, the northwest. So during the night, slightly less, but still hot in the south, southwest. The show for Monday afternoon, the 14th, some 100s, 90s on the west, in the southeast, 90s still, so stay safe, these temperatures. Slightly less during the night, especially in the mountains, but take a look at this. Death Valley remains above 100 during the night. That's insane. And some 85 in Las Vegas, so please be careful with those temperatures. And during the day on Tuesday, shows like some 100s and 90s, a few spots in the southwest, and like especially those 90s in Nevada, 100. So stay safe, 90s in the southeast. So yeah, and actually the white is 90, and those grayish are 100. Yeah, so stay safe. And there's like this rain in the next 48 hours shows like a few spots to 2 to 3 inches, a few spots in Virginia, even close to 4 in a few spots. So stay safe, the flooding possible. So yeah, be careful in those areas. It does show here like for what just happened here. Sorry. So shows like those temperatures in Canada, nothing too crazy, but does show like especially in the south, like south central Canada, some 34 degrees, the southernmost part of Saskatchewan into Alberta. So stay safe. I bet some major heat risk there as well, and some extreme heat in northwestern Mexico to 46 degrees. Northwestern Mexico today. Nearly, if you put that in Celsius, southern Arizona is like at 47 degrees Celsius, like 118 Fahrenheit to 116 in Phoenix. So that's extremely hot. Please be careful. It's like one of the hottest days of the year so far. The past heat wave was similar as well. So please stay safe. 47 degrees northern Mexico, 47 grados Mexicali y otras zonas. Muchas precauciones. e Amazonas, assim, o Pacífico e Norte de México. So stay safe in those areas. Back to Canada, the show central areas warm and like still northern Canada, like northwestern areas, so it's still colder. And into Alaska still shows some 20s Fahrenheit. That band in northern Alaska. So stay safe in those areas. Shows Wednesday here into Thursday. It does lower during the night a little bit, slightly colder into northwestern Canada, a few portions. But Thursday still hot central Canada. Friday this heat moves further east, warmer central southern Canada. Saturday still across like southern Ontario and central Quebec and more spots there. Saturday, Sunday still across southern and also to eastern Canada, warmer. So BR central Alaska quite mild, and northwestern Canada by the 15th as well. So stay safe in those areas. Be careful. The show does snow mainly in the Arctic and across northern Canada, but 5 days. The show here, the European is even showing in Wyoming a thing or two in the Rockies. That's quite crazy. There's the GFS, nothing. The icon, nothing. So just the European is showing some weird stuff. But the show more northern British Columbia to Alaska. So that area might have some northern Alaska. The European is showing even like 3 inches of snow. Next 5 days, spots in northern Canada. So be aware in those areas and stay safe. There's like the her here just for this rainfall now. So the show today's Wednesday, so until Friday, the her shows in Virginia close to 4 inches, even 5 inches. A spot or two. North Carolina still shows spots to 4 inches. South Carolina, to southern New Jersey, the hers even to like 5 inches. So stay safe. That localized heavy rainfall there. And yeah, stay safe in those areas. Does show this wind still slightly stronger in the Canadian Rockies and in a few spots in the Caribbean too, but especially like shows some stronger gusts this evening and tonight across central to northern Canada, more spots along the west. This goes even the western US, a few spots slightly breezier, but northern Canada shows stronger gusts during Thursday and Friday as well. And then yeah, and off the coast of Oregon and California too. So stay safe and still showing in Eastern Canada on the 14th, but we'll keep watching. So stay safe in those areas.